I'm just here to do a quick disclaimer, so bear with me for a second while I read you our fair use disclaimer.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute and might otherwise be infringing. The copyright laws of the United States recognize as a fair use of the copyright content. Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including use by reproduction in copies of phone records or by any other means specified by the section, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement of copyright.
Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I do want to point out that everything talked about on this live is personal opinions or things we, as the panel, have experienced for ourselves. The people that we're talking about are considered public figures. So, with that being said, here's a slight content warning because the subject matter is considered extremely disturbing. With that being said, time to start the live. Let's roll the dice.
Hello, it's me. Can you do me a big giant favor? And let's start a new chat with Chris Smith, because will you help me find everything we can where Chris talks about kid stuff about me, breaking the NDA, giving secrets away, anything and everything, because now that I'm spending all this money on a lawyer, we might as well go after him now as well. He thought I never would. The time to do it is now. And there's so much stuff out there where he says that type of kid stuff. He does it all the time. He probably does it in written word, but he does it in videos a lot. And I don't care what it costs. The lawyer may say, well, you can't because you're not going to get money out of him and he didn't hurt you financially. I don't care. We're going to do it anyway. And I haven't really talked about it that much at all with the lawyer in this particular situation, but it's my money. I can make we can go after him if we want to. But I just need to gather evidence so I can show it to the lawyer more than just this one thing that Daniel sent me. I know he's done it a zillion times. I would really appreciate it. It makes me just crazy, and it's time to go after him legally. Please don't say anything about it, obviously, except for people that can help us. I don't want him to catch wind of it, obviously, but anything and everything. I really, really appreciate it.
All right, and honestly, the first question was for you, Megan, and that's during your visits down to Summertown. What were your interactions like with Russ?
I mean, it was all kind of like lighthearted. Whenever I went down to like move stuff, he was just always, do this for me, do that. I remember I put a TV stand together for him, and like, I mean, yeah, because he was like, you put this together for me, and I'm like, well, I guess, I mean, it was more of like, do this for me. I don't think it was like nothing crazy down there, it was kind of just like a friendship, or I thought it was a friendship, I thought I was helping my friend out, and turns out I was being used. And I spent a lot of money, going down there. I live, 5.5 hours away. That's a lot of gas and hotel rooms and everything. Yeah, he did buy me lunch one time, but
Ooh,
I mean,
got something on that dollar menu. That's
Taco Tuesday.
It wasn't Taco Tuesday. It was some chicken from the gas station.
Oh, you went to that
I've
Speedy
heard
cafe, huh?
I think it was actually near the other place, the second place. Yeah, that's where we went.
Yeah, I've heard about the gas station food.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boss. So why don't you ask the next one?
Kelly, prior to what made you leave finally, were there any red flags you noticed throughout your experience as an admin? Red flags.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there were times that small things would pop up, and I would talk to Megan about it, and I'd air my frustration with her and say, maybe this is all, an effed up situation that we don't need to be involved in anymore, and then he would kind of reel us back in, and, or I'd let some time pass and kind of cool off with whatever was frustrating me and kind of just keep on the mission. But, yeah, I mean, I think over time I got to see the patterns with Russ, and and it happened at the times where I would step back. When I'm in it, I wasn't really focusing on those things. But the times that I was stepping back, I was like, man, this stuff's just wild. And there were a lot of times where I didn't want to stay with it anymore, but I still did until I absolutely could not do anymore. So I left.
We're glad you did.
I am too.
So this next one goes to both of you. Were either of you ever told or made to feel like you were the only one Russ could trust?
Yep.
Yeah, what did that look like to you?
Or like like Kelly was saying, he tried to pit one another. He would like plant ideas almost like, I remember there were several times he'd be like, well, is Kelly turning? I don't know if I can trust her. You're the only one that can help me, et cetera, et cetera. You know, he tries to make you feel like you're special and you're the only one that can help him and you're the true friend. But then all the while he's telling, the next person the same thing. And I feel like he uses that to be able to, I guess, get more time out of you or more help out of you, He tries to make you feel important. And I guess when you're in that role, you crave to be important to him, and to help him, so he knows what to say to make you feel good, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of times that, I just, like I said, going through my messages, I'd see him write things like, it's you and I, it's all I have, we don't have anybody else, don't leave me, you can't leave me. And, it just was so much of that. And, that got in my head because, there was a lot of times where I was like, this person is flipped, I can tell. I mean, most of the time I was right. I'm not even going to say who they were. But it kind of bottle-nosed me into a place with just Russ. I mean, and even was not telling Megan everything, not that I didn't trust her. It just was like, I didn't see the value of the conversation going beyond Russ and I, because I was then like paranoid, like, who's going to know this, what other fires we're going to have to put out. And, and just getting him to not talk to people was impossible. It was impossible. Like, he was literally talking to Justin all the time. Like, Justin was probably the only person messaging him constantly. And I'm like, bro, you're literally talking to someone who you're about to sue and then actively was suing. It's like, are you nuts? Like, it just, the frustration level was insane. But yeah. I don't think he always liked my feedback to him because he didn't really take all of my suggestions.
Right.
It was just chaos.
Well, I got another audio clip to play here. Let's give it a listen.
Hello there. Hey, I'm looking for some job references. I'm applying for another position. I'd be pretty perfect for it. My only concern, of course, is they're going to Google my name to see all the crazy stuff, and I'm sure they'll shoot it down right there on the spot. But anyways, I'm going to apply for it tomorrow online, and I'd like to get your information. Just tell people that I've known you forever. Let's say, 10 years, 15 years? Make it whatever's convenient for you. So if I could get your real name and phone number and address, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
I'm assuming, Megan, you couldn't hear it.
I did hear it.
Oh,
this
you
time.
did hear that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to play that one because it just shows that, that relationship. Like, you're comfortable. He'll get somebody comfortable enough to lie about things, and that's a little one, a job resume or whatever. But still, he's asking you to lie. And this goes into my next one with you, Megan. Did Russ ever threaten to end his life or try to persuade you in order to try to persuade you to do something for him?
It wasn't like to persuade me, but I did get the active threats on his life, especially once all the stuff, the Hulu doc and all that. Um, and he said it, multiple times, and I think the first time he did, I think, was with Kelly, and Kelly had reached out to me, and then we were all in a frantic. I remember I was in the middle of the grocery store, like, holy crap, like, do we need to call the cops? Like, what's going on? And he always goes, please find somebody to take care of the dogs, like, because, we're animal lovers. He pulls at the heartstrings. And I actively said to him, I don't like, hearing that because it kind of triggers me because I've had some stuff in the past happen. And I was like, I don't appreciate that. And, oh, I'm sorry. And then, oh, well, what happened to you? Like, he just rolled right into that. And I was like, well, and then he still continued to do it, like say stuff like that, which again, I didn't appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to hear someone say some crap like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I might add, even if you didn't feel like he was saying it to persuade you to do something specifically, I have a feeling if you go back and listen or think about the situation that was happening, it could be something as simple as like he just needs you to be more supportive, be more available for him, or get more recordings of the haters, that kind of thing, because of his emotional state. And he's done that to Chris.
Yeah.
Chris has shared that story multiple times as well. It's horrible.
Boston, I deleted the next question because we kind of already answered it.
Okay.
So you can.
Okay, this is to both of you. This is a good. I really want to know this. I think I know the answer, but since leaving, has Russ made any attempt to try and talk to you?
Not to me. I like I said, I kind of just dipped out and blocked.
Oh, Kelly, you sound like a robot. I think that was Kelly, not Megan, right?
Yeah, that's Kelly. Kelly's oil can.
Oh, you might need to leave. Leave and try coming back. But I'm sorry, Megan. 4 years.
Yeah. 4 years, yeah.
And then just no attempt to be like, come back, like.
Well, no, because I blocked him on everything just because I knew what would happen. I knew he probably would attempt to, but I blocked on everything because I didn't want to be drugged back in. But of course, at that time, once finding certain things out, I was like, there's no way in hell I'll go back, and kind of gave him the big F you and blocked him on everything.
Bravo, by the way, for doing that. I have a follow-up question for that. Because he does this, he makes you guys do this kind of stuff. Did anyone else try to reach out on his behalf and talk you into coming back?
No, not on his behalf. No, I had some people reach out to me like, what the heck's going on? And then they started opening their eyes, but no one like on his behalf that I know of, unless someone's like maliciously doing it. But I think all the people that have reached out are with true intentions of, I guess, checking on me and why did we leave? Because that was a huge thing, because I think Kelly maybe left on a Wednesday or Thursday, and by that Sunday I was gone. And I mean, we had been there for so long, and it was like, Kelly's gone, and then I'm gone, and then another person gone, and I think people that really kind of woke some people up.
Like, what's going on? Yeah. Kelly, we want to try talking again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Good. So same question then. Did he try to reach out to you at all?
No. I mean, as soon as I left, I blocked him everywhere, humanly possible. I mean, the only avenue he would have to contact me would be through email, and he is not. So I didn't expect him to.
Which again, great for both of you for doing that and putting that boundary up. It just is infuriating and sad that you stuck by his side for however many years and he doesn't even have that personal human thing of like trying, like, I want to repair this. It's just like, see ya,
We're a
disposable.
placeholder. We're a
Yeah.
placeholder. It's everybody's replaceable, and it's just the next one in line. And that's why, if you think you're
Well,
going to be the one to change them, you're not.
I think too he realizes people have now seen him for him, and he's not willing to face himself,
Yeah.
through our words, and it's a shame in the light that, what, there is a lot I would say to him, like, how dare you? How dare you? And we may have a place to say that in this live, and I will, but he just cannot face anything about himself.
Yeah.
Very true. I think.
So,
I'll leave that to you.
Kelly, you were in Russ's trusted circle. At any point, did he ever ask you to tell him nothing means nothing?
Oof. Yes. Yes, he did. He did one time. It was, I want to say, a couple months into this year. And it was after a meeting he had with a lawyer. And he was driving home. And we had scheduled a call afterwards because he wanted to talk about what, the content of the meeting was about. And so I got on the phone with him, and he was pretty agitated, kind of just circling thoughts. And he said, I need you to say nothing means nothing. I just need you to say it. I just need you to say it. And those words I've heard over, my time and experience with Russ and what they were related to. And I instantly, felt my blood turn cold. And I did not want to say that. I did not want to be involved in that. I did not want to even know more about that. But I said it because I felt in that moment there was no out for me unless I was just going to hang up the phone. And shortly after, I just was like, yeah, I guess, yeah, Russ, nothing means nothing. I don't know. I mean, I guess not. I don't know. It was very uncomfortable, and it was a situation I did not want to be in. And I did not know the nature of the things that he was trying to wipe away with me saying that until after I learned the graphic detail of that. But yeah, I got off the phone shortly after that, and I think that was the last phone call I ever had with Russ. And I stayed in for another few months, but that was a moment that I won't forget.
And how did that affect you emotionally, like going forward?
It definitely is. It's still having an impact on me. It definitely is, because now I have context to what he was potentially thinking about, that he needed someone to say this to assist him at the time. It bothers me, and it bothers me even more so is that he had other people in his life saying that to him on a regular basis, including telling them things that no person should have to experience, and then tell him that it's okay. That really fucking bothers me, and I'm hurt for them, and I'm hurt that he even brought that to me.
I am too. You shouldn't. None of you should have. He says often, like, oh, it's my PTSD, it's my, like, oh, it's just a mental illness. That mental illness or not does not excuse you putting that weight of something and that trauma onto another human being. And not just one or two, but so many that we know of that have talked to us. Now you're included in that, Chris. I mean, so many over so many years. I think even Dino, one of the actors, an adult actor who helped out back in the Boo Haunt days, heard it as well. Had no idea what the context was. But it's, in my opinion, it's abusive to do that to another human being.
It is.
Yeah.
I want to play an audio clip, and D Dot, your question is actually coming up next. So I just want to thank you for the super sticker, the $10, and we will address that. We're going to play this quick video first, and then yeah, this is the last video of the night.
I don't even know. John's movie is even going to get off the ground. It's stalling right now, and he said if it does happen, it's not going to be until next October. He keeps telling me, yeah, it's going to happen, but I don't see it. You know, but we have to use him just like he's using me. We got to use the platform big time, and we have to be on the same page and stuff. Movie is going to paint me like I'm the biggest predator towards women and kids. They're going to do all that stuff. When they know better, they, you know, is there any? I mean, where's the police action at? If that's the case, why am I not locked in jail? Why have I never been investigated for anything? Where's anything at? Because there isn't anything. These people want their 15 minutes of fame. They know the real me. They know I got PTSD and OCD and they know all that stuff, but they're trying to twist that all around and paint me something that they know is not true. They wouldn't have been with me if that was true.
Notice in it how he said, where's the investigation? Where's the police reports? And it was almost as if the future came too. Those were past audios, which now have kind of come to the forefront. Yeah, Boston, we can try that. I want to get to D-Dot's question, and this is to both of you. Thank you, everybody, for staying with us. We just have a few more questions left, so please hang out with us for just a little longer. Why did both of you leave? What was that final straw?
I'll start. For me, I think that instant that I just discussed was a turning point for me. When he had said that nothing means nothing on the phone call, that was definitely something that took me aback. And then when I think the big breaking point was when we saw there was a picture that was posted by the woman he was with, Shay, and it was up on all the pages. It was the thigh pic, the infamous thigh pic with the bedazzled Russ. And the comments on the page with that picture were all related to Russ being a pedophile, that she looks like she's 12, all of this stuff. So what I did is I screenshot all of those comments and I dropped it in our mod chat. And I said, I'm not fucking down with this. This is disgusting. Like, I'm all set. And that for me was a realization moment that there's more to this than I knew. And when I found out he lied to us that she was living there, I trusted now nothing about Russ, because there were plenty of conversations from point A to that point where he could have been open with us like he was with a lot of things that we thought he was. And now catching him basically in these lies, for me, solidified that I could probably trust nothing, or I wasn't willing to even try to trust anything in this person anymore. And I told Megan all about that. Megan said the same. She didn't feel, she felt disgusted by the fact that he had a younger woman there and he was lying about it. We thought she looked very young, and, listen, I'm not against people. They want to have age gap relationships. That's fine. And I said multiple times, it's part of Russ's personal life. It's not really our business. But if she's living there and she's listening to things that we're saying on audios and stuff like that, I felt we deserve the respect to at least know. And, you know, the whole thing going backwards was conflicted anyway. Like he said, he brought her in to get information from you guys to build a case. I didn't think that was a good idea because she's a young, vulnerable woman. Why are you throwing her in the middle of a war? Like, what does she know? Like, stop. And they're fighting back and forth. In the beginning, I didn't even think she was around anymore. So I was like vocal with the fact that why would you leave yourself vulnerable to have someone that is contacting the other side that she could just take everything and go there, you know? So my perception had changed multiple times in a short period of time. And it just got me to the point where it all leads back to Russ anyways. He's pulling the strings on all this. He's manipulating us. He's lying to us. He's using us. He's using her. He's manipulating her, lying to her. And then we find out he's still involved with somebody else. So it's like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I had just tapped out of everything and it all just came into view all at once. And then I had to face what I didn't know when I left. And that's what made me absolutely ill. Like, ill.
Yes, unfortunately, but also I hope at least gave you reassurance that you made the right choice. You know?
There was no doubt. I mean, my original, like I said to Megan many a times, listen, if I leave, I'm just going to leave and be done with it. I'm not going to, run and do all of it. But,
when you find,
this is a whole different ball game. Having known what I knew up to that point, that would have fit the bill just to leave. But leaving and having people that I was close with, that I cared about, that I love, tell me the things that they told me that was happening while I was a part of this has still got me fucking livid. Like, I'm livid, and I understand when people are being victimized, they don't reach out. They don't often talk about it to other people. And maybe I wouldn't have been the right one because I would have blew up then, like lost it. Like, that's not okay. But I'm glad that they found, the voice to talk to me and to each other in this group and even with you all. So we can support each other through this, because the amount and level of trauma that people are dealing with as a result of Russ McKamey for the rest of their lives, whether they can see that right now or not, is fucking astounding. It's astounding.
When he says stuff like, oh, they're obsessed with me, they've been talking about me for years, or all they do is talk about me, there's a reason.
Yep.
I mean, that's all I have to say. There's a reason. He has inflicted trauma that have followed people throughout their lives and over the years.
All right, we're going. Megan, what was the deciding factor to get you to leave?
Pretty much everything Kelly said, because we were kind of actively doing it at the same time. I believe we had been speaking for a couple weeks prior, just kind of putting little things together, kind of like putting all the breadcrumbs together. And like I said, we didn't even know she was living there. It was brought to my attention, and then I brought it to Kelly's attention to be like, what the fuck is going on? And then it went from there. We both kind of left, it was happening at the same time. We were discussing this. I was just a few days later. Snowball effect.
And there's some people that like have said, well, that's his personal life or whatever. I think what those people, what they're not getting, like, I would be upset too if all of a sudden I found out one of my closest friends had a new relationship and they had moved in and they're living together and I had no idea. And then you start thinking is there like there has to be a reason we weren't told.
Why are they?
Right?
Yeah, why are they hiding it?
Right? Right?
Yeah.
I built this guy a TV stand.
All right.
And now there's this girl living with him, and there has to be a reason that we were not told. And I think that was pretty evident where everyone watched that play out publicly, you know.
Yeah.
So, final questions that we got for you is, Megan, what do you have to say to anyone out there that you feel is being manipulated by Russ?
Get the hell out, because you are not going to be the one to change him. If you think you have a special bond with him, you don't. I thought I did for 4 years. I was swindled for 4 years. You will not be the one to change him. He is set in his ways. And I hope that they take the time to really open their eyes and not be like how I was, with blinders on, and see the trauma that he's actually inflicted on some of these people, and just to wake the hell up. Once you're out, you see it all, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse, and you're just going to be used by him, or he's possibly going to inflict trauma on you with the whole, nothing means nothing and all that other stuff.
Good advice.
Kelly?
I would say to them, you're actively helping a predator.
Yeah.
So leave.
Good one.
Leave and minimize the rest of the damage you're doing, like for yourself and others. Like, get away from this mess. I like Megan said, we all thought we were doing the right thing by Russ, our friend, our buddy, who's your buddy, and what we thought it was and what it is in actuality are actually two different things. Russ is living for the audience. He's living for the audience in the public eye. That's what we got drawn into. What Russ is doing when the cameras are off or away from all of us, things that were not in our knowledge, is horrific. It's abuse. It is illegal. It is all of the things that you do not want to be associated with based on the knowledge that brought you there.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, and this is, I guess, to both of you. It's been on the news. It's all over YouTube. We've talked about it here. This is not a story that is not a public story. As you both know, Russ was recently arrested and charged initially with domestic violence, and then charged with rape and 2 counts of second-degree attempted murder. He is innocent until proven guilty. Those are his charges. He's out on bond right now. What do you guys think about his current charges in this situation?
Based on what I've learned from other women that have been in romantic relationships with Russ, none of it surprises me. And I continue to empower the woman that made the statements and was strong enough to tell the police that night, that day, whatever, what had happened. I think that's important that she did. I think that that's a tough thing for anybody to do. But I do think that I'm not surprised by them, and I'm glad that they're in place, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Megan, same thoughts?
Same thoughts. Pretty much. With the knowledge that I have now, not surprised. With the new knowledge that we know.
Sadly, yeah.
So this brings us to the final question of the night, and this goes to both of you. If you were able to talk to Russ one more time, what would you say?
That's a tough one. Minus a fuck you for using me for 4 years. get help and stop inflicting trauma on other people. Focus on yourself and to stop all this craziness, pretty much. I'll let Kelly take it away.
Kelly, you're muted if you're
Oh,
if you're
thank
still.
you. I mean, I would. There's a lot. There's a lot I'd like to say, but I think I'd sum it up and just say, you're fucked, bro. You're fucked. Like, you are fucked. Like, everything about you, you know? I mean, using people. I mean, using people alone is just so. I don't get, you know, I mean, listen, we all have traumas, we all have stuff, but it's like when you get to a point in your life when you can actually recognize your trauma and you have not gotten help for it in any capacity, even though people have went with you and tried to help you, you know, get help. You know, the only time that I know that he went to do it is to try to help himself legally, you know, so it's like, it's, how are you a victim? You're creating victims. You created victims. Like, you have hurt people that will last the rest of their lives. Like, what you have is not an OCD, PTSD. You have a fucking mental illness that needs true therapy. He needs all sorts of stuff. Like, I don't know what they do for people like that, but he needs throw the book at it, do it all. Like, you know, at least try. You know, and by not doing that, like, you're just continuing to find people that you're gonna hurt, you know. And I'm angry. I feel like I was definitely used, and I'm more, not even so much I can handle what I feel. I'm so angry and so hurt about what he did to people I care about. I'm so angry. He's used people, kind people, nice people, unsuspecting people, people that also have trauma. He has manipulated, used them, and just exploited them to the fullest of his own benefit. So he's not a good person. Russ, you're not a good person. So if you're listening to this, Russ, you are a shitty fucking human. And I don't care what anyone has to say. Oh, he has mental health issues. He's not getting help for his mental health issues at all.
And he weaponizes them.
Needs.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Kelly,
He needs.
Kelly pulled a pink. She rage quit.
I know.
For people that don't know that, what that is, I bet you her phone died because her phone was dying before. But I think she got out what she needed to get out in that message. And when you go back to listen to this, you and Megan are both extremely strong women. And I'm so happy to have you out of that situation and on the right side and not being quiet about it, right? You've experienced your own trauma, your own emotional stress and pain that you have to deal with. And the priority, it seems, for the two of you isn't about just, caring for yourself, of course, but you are focused on stopping others from getting that done to them. And
I've got to make it right now. I've got to make it right and spread the awareness.
And that is literally our mission. Chris and Chris said, no more victims. This can't keep happening to more people. And you and Kelly, everyone says the same thing. People, I can't share their names, but people that have left that situation, no more victims.
And it's just, Kelly, I was saying, you two are just such strong women, and I'm so happy that you're out of that situation. And not only are you healing yourself, but you are also helping others. And so we appreciate you. For everybody in chat, I appreciate you so much. I know Boston does as well. You guys are always so great. Never any issues. Carrie and that guy modding in chat tonight, thank you for dropping the links and all of the disclaimers throughout. We can't do these lives without you. MC Faceplant, you'll get a special shout out for saying the thing that you said about me that I'm not going to put up on here. But I saw it. And to all those that bought memberships tonight and dropped the super stickers and all that, we thank you so much. That money goes back in to helping the channel grow and spreading the awareness.
Road trips. Yep.
Go on some road trips.
So, well, I mean,
it's not all content.
It's not all awareness. We do also hunt ghosts.
Yes,
and
we
do other fun.
We do.
But I also want to add, believe it or not, this is over 2 hour live. This is just part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I know a lot of people were asking for Q&A. Right now, with some stuff that's going on in the background, we don't want to be put on the spot with something that we can't necessarily answer. That's why we had the questions scripted out to be able to ask, knowing what we can and cannot ask at this time. So we appreciate you sticking with us. And this is just part 1, people. We got so many more things to share, and we just started with the audio clips. So, yeah, let's keep this up, and thank you all, and have a great night.
Thank you.